Okay, so this is day 4, and yesterday was a pretty different day from the previous one. So I left Nivelles, and I kind of picked like a town which was like 20 kilometers away from that city, and I walked, and it was a very nice walk, kind of like flowing, and was pretty nice. And so I arrived in that little town, and I stopped there, and I originally I thought that I would sleep there, but I kind of felt to go a little bit farther. So so yeah, I walked a little bit more, and I kind of found myself in some kind of like industrial park or something, and I kind of got lost a little bit. And so I thought about like joining like because I spotted like another town, and so I had to reach it, but I had to cross like a kind of like a big roundabout with like two main roads, and it was a little bit tricky, but I finally made it to the town, and yeah, I was just like walking, and then I started knocking on quite a few doors actually. And well, first I went to sit on a bench and ask people, and then I went to knock on several doors, and people always seemed to be pointing me like towards like a city nearby, which was like probably like an hour's walk. And I was kind of avoiding it because I think I had walked like probably like 25 kilometers by then, and I was like, yeah, I prefer not to walk too much more. And but somehow it felt like everything was pointing in that direction. So yeah, like later in the night, I think it was probably like 8 or something like that, I finally decided to walk to that city. And interestingly, the guys from the day before, they told me like you should avoid that city because it's a city that has like kind of a bad reputation here in Belgium. And so I didn't think about it much, but I ended up going to that city, and so yeah, I started asking some people, and first I crossed like I think it was a couple maybe, or two friends, and they started thinking a little bit, and they told me, oh, like maybe we should ask John. And the guy said like that's what the girl said, and the guy said like no, 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 that's a bad idea. And so they left, and I worked a little bit more, and a few minutes after I asked another guy, and he was thinking a little bit, and then he brought me to a bar where he was working at, and he told me like you could ask clients and the barman and everything. And actually the two, like the two first people I met, they were also at the bar, and they all knew each other. And so yeah, like we talked a little bit, and they offered me a beer, and then there was another guy in the bar who his name was Michael, and he actually was like, let's ask John, still the same John. And so, but they were like very hesitant, and I mean, some of them were like, let's put him there, and other ones were like, no, that's a bad idea. And so I was a little bit curious, like, who is this guy? And actually, so he's like a drug addict, and he hosts like homeless people sometimes, and other drug addicts. And so yeah, I ended up sleeping there, and basically he was living like probably like 2 minutes down the block, and he's a very nice guy, and yeah, like struggling, but he lives in quite a big apartment, but actually the apartment is completely, so there are no more walls, and the completely empty, just like a couple of couches and a TV, and the bathroom is out of use, so no toilet, nothing. But yeah, like I slept there on the couch, and it ended up like it ended up okay. So um, yeah, I just talked with, so there was him and another guy who slept there as well, and I talked with them a little bit at night and saw them do their thing, and yeah. So I woke up at around 6 o'clock this morning, and I decided to go first to this town, which is called Binches, and it's a small town, but it's a pretty well-known town in Belgium because it hosts the most famous carnival in Belgium, I would say. So that was like a 10 kilometers walk, and now I'm just resting in the park. Was taking a nap, and then I think I will hitchhike to another town called Chimay, which is also pretty known, and I think I will try to find some place there for the night. So yeah, um, yeah, it was a very different kind of day yesterday, but yeah, let's see what comes next.